Oh, a microphony.
And a phony at the mic.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
The Doctor of Discernment is now online.
You know, much like my show, in that it's a local reaction to things that are happening on a federal level.
Dispensing a daily dose of common sense. No prescription required.
Wow, do I have a boatload of stuff for you, from the crazy to the absurd. Let's start getting into it because, I mean, it is bizarro world out there. And I say, if it's obvious to me, should be obvious to everybody. Oh, wow. Who could have seen this coming?
This is the Fourth Hour with Greg Belfrage.
Hold on to your butts.
Broadcasting from my basement bunker beneath Kettle Radio. Welcome to the Fourth Hour. It is really great to have you along. I talked about this on the air this morning, but I wanted to share it in a little bit more detail. What's going on in the legacy media is just absolutely incredible. This is ABC News reporter Matt Gutman being blasted for calling the texts from these are texts between Tyler Robinson and his boyfriend, lover, very touching. So he breathlessly reported from the press conference in Utah yesterday. It was very touching in a way that many of us didn't expect, of these text messages, a very intimate portrait into this relationship between the suspect's roommate and the suspect himself, with him repeatedly calling his roommate, who is transitioning, calling him my love. And I want to protect you, my love. So this duality of someone who the attorney said not only jeopardized the life of Charlie Kirk and the crowd, but was doing it in front of children, one of the aggravating circumstances. But then on the other hand, he was, speaking so lovingly about his partner. So a very interesting, riveting press conference. What? I mean, seriously, what? What are you talking about? New York Post has got the text. Drop what you're doing. Look under my keyboard. What? You're joking, right? I'm still okay, my love. So under the keyboard was the note about killing Charlie Kirk. He said, I'm still okay, but I'm stuck in Orem. Shouldn't be long until I can come home. Got to grab my rifle still. Well, it was too late. By that point, authorities were already on top of the rifle. He couldn't get to it. To be honest, I had hoped to keep this secret till I died of old age. I'm sorry to involve you. You weren't the one who did it, right? I am. I'm sorry. I thought they caught the person. That was the person who was. They did hold someone for a short period of time who was later released. I think a few hours later was released. So this is, my friends, what passes for intelligent news commentary at ABC News. And I know it makes some of you absolutely sick. Steve said, I see the media trying to turn the Charlie Kirk murderer into a tragic love story. Made me throw up a little bit in my mouth. Yeah, no kidding. The whole thing does. I mean, how does it not? Just absolutely crazy. Got a lot of news here involving Charlie Kirk. The assassination now, probing whether pro-trans online groups and others connected with Tyler Robinson knew in advance about his plans. Law enforcement saying that investigators are examining leftist groups both in Utah and online to figure out if they helped him with the shooting or at least knew it was going to happen. This includes groups in the online gaming community Steam, as well as a pro-trans organization called Armed Queers SLC. I got an email from someone this morning as I was sharing the story. This was much earlier this morning, laughing about that. I laughed when I heard you say Armed Queers SLC. There's nothing funny about any of this, folks. There's nothing that I find funny at all. Slew of disturbing, yet as of now unverified, social media posts about Kirk are raising questions about whether some people online may have known about the assassination before it happened. So this is a trail of breadcrumbs then for breadcrumbs for investigators to follow. Here's the queer resistance. Flyers promoting the event featured a young woman clad in 2 ammo belts and clutching an AK-47. Agitate, educate, organize. Armed queers, SLC. A lot of these groups now are shutting down online. They're just shutting. They're trying to. They don't want to leave any trails. And this is just absolutely crazy. So we'll see where that goes. We'll see what more we may learn of that in the days ahead. I shared this story briefly early this morning, and I'm just speechless at what some people are doing and reacting to Charlie Kirk. So this is a Texas State student reenacting the assassination in front of a horrified crowd. And let's run the entire story. It's only a couple of minutes long. Let's go back to the beginning of this story, and we'll pick up the audio here. Here it goes. Reenacting it. Spewing profanity.
Oh, buddy. That nigga, you get expelled, dude.
Climbed up on a statue, grabbed his neck. Texas Governor Greg Abbott wasn't laughing, and neither am I. Turn that music down a little. This conduct not accepted at our schools. Shouldn't be. He got shot in the neck. He got shot in the neck. What's going on in our college campuses? I mean, this is crazy. So the student has not been identified yet. And there he is. Oh, shot in the neck. Absolutely incredible. That stuff's just sickening. I don't want to talk too much on any one of these stories because I got a number of things that I want to share with you. So the president saying on Truth Social, why was Turning Point under investigation by Jack Smith and the corrupt and incompetent Biden administration? I had not heard this. Have you heard this? That Turning Point USA was under investigation by the Biden administration? Man, I'll make you a promise. I'm never voting for Democrats again. I will never vote for Democrats again, and what that party represents is disgusting. They tried to force Charlie and many other people and movements out of business. And then the president seems unable to help himself from going back and tying it into himself and what he's been through. I understand that. But was Jack Smith looking into Turning Point USA? Wow. That is, the president says they were. Okay, I want to share a thought here before I share this story about Michael Keaton. I've had several people over the last few days who have sent me messages, emails, and said, this person is saying this, point it out. Don't do that, because I won't do that. I won't do that. I'm not going to say, oh, such and such said this, and then in an effort to try to get that person fired, or you don't know me very well if you think that's what my show's about, if you think that's what I'm about. I'm not about that. I'm not about trying to get folks fired or, if you want to do that, if you want to share it on your social media, you want to do those things, that's your voice. Absolutely. You're entitled to do that. But it's not me. That's not who I am. That's not what I'm about. We talk about events. We talk about the news of the day. We talk about principles, the lack of principles, unfortunately, too many folks. So, yeah, people are saying a lot of crazy things, but somebody says something. I'm not the guy who's going to shine a bright light on that. And I'm sorry if that disappoints you, but that is absolutely not who I am. And I've received several emails within the last 24 hours from people along those lines. So please don't do that. Please don't ask me to do that. I just won't respond. Michael Keaton is talking about Charlie Kirk. He said the irony that Charlie Kirk was killed with a gun is unbelievable. Shooting people will never answer anything, he said. Let's go and look at the full comments of Keaton. He was speaking at the Investigative Reporters and Editors 50th anniversary on Monday night. He said, before we start to get into the meat of this thing, I'm going to take a minute to say that regardless of how I have disagreed with many things he said, Charlie Kirk leaves behind 2 kids and a wife. You got to remember that, he said. He said this at the opening of his speech. He said, because in the end, shooting people will never answer anything. And the irony that he was killed with a gun is unbelievable, he says. So there were others then who started talking about, also mentioned Charlie Kirk. But the reason that I bring that up, normally I would just leave that alone. Michael Keaton apparently being blasted online, saying there was irony in Charlie Kirk's killing. And people were labeling him as a moron for saying that. Folks saying this is why so many people checked out of watching anything Hollywood creates. Michael Keaton is truly a moron when you hear him speak. 3rd grade education on display again. And this goes on a number just of negative reactions. One fan spoke up in defense of Keaton, say, let's give Michael Keaton some credit for caring that Charlie will be missed by his family. Being mean in your responses, not helpful. I think there are a lot of folks. What do you want to be? What do you want to be about? What do you want to represent? What kind of values, whether they're Christian values or whatever, if you belong to another faith, whatever or no faith, what are your values? What do you want to represent? And that's why, folks are saying, bring up this social media post and shine the light of attention on this person. That's not what I want to represent. I don't want to represent that kind of vitriol and that kind of, tit for tat. And that is absolutely just not who I am. I haven't talked about that on the air. I wanted to do it here because this is a more personal kind of forum between you and me. But let's talk here a little bit more about Charlie Kirk, because I found I thought this was great. New College of Florida announced yesterday they will commission a statue of Charlie Kirk. And they're saying they haven't released the specifics yet, but the social media officer at the college said they believe the statue will be a reminder of what America is all about. Having conversations that might be difficult, but that are worth it, where the best idea wins. Conversations that are civil and people actually coming together. You got to appreciate that, what they're doing. Also, coming up on Sunday is the Fight for Charlie event. Building a Legacy, Remembering Charlie Kirk. This coming up Sunday at 11 at State Farm Stadium in Arizona. And I won't go into details. You can find this at fightforcharlie.com if you would be inclined to go. And forgive me, I don't mean to be laughing at the event. I'm not. But I just would be unable to drop everything and go down to Arizona and then return. I'm hoping that is going to be televised. That I can absolutely do. That I can join it in spirit and in prayer. But this will be coming up Sunday, 11 a.m. This Arizona. So you can find more on that at fightforcharlie.com. And I'm going to leave it there for today. You have made it to the end of the video. So you are part of my gallery of champions. Special salute to the Bunker Brigade. Those are the folks who are here each and every day. I think I'm just going to leave it there for today. So until tomorrow, my friend, I'm underground and gone.